Hi friends, we have discussed like introductory talk on the human factor development or human reliability. Second, we discussed the postulates, assumptions, and sort of we have created a human model. Okay. Now it becomes important that we start detailing and finally we do quantification also. So in this lecture we will cognitions, I think we have discussed enough, and already a lot of knowledge is available in the open domain, but when we start developing consciousness and conscience, we need to have explicit attributes of it. So what we'll do is whatever available attributes of consciousness or consciousness related, that we'll discuss, and conscience also will discuss, and finally the stage will be created for a reference human model, because all the terminology or taxonomy of the CQB human model will be ready. So let us see, like we have consciousness attribute. We saw in the model that formation is a very important step, conscious formation. Conscious formation is my views on what we see, what I observe, what I hear, and what I think, and then I become aware, so awareness coefficient. So the situational awareness is very important, because we are human and rest is the outside world, and outside world is captured in the situational awareness, and that world is what is that actual world, what I think about it, what my awareness goes on to regarding the outside world. Whatever is visible to me, whatever I can think, that defines the, we will talk about the definition of situational awareness also, and then the declarative awareness of and memory. Whatever systems or plant or the equipment, they are spread out declarative knowledge. I mean, nobody can change that. So and procedure is a secondary to that. Based on those only procedures are developed, And then the alertness question. So we saw a very important thing. They form our consciousness. So awareness is one, alertness is one, and the last one is emotional coefficient, because we are talking about management component also. So probably many of you might have heard emotional quotient is very important to run an organization. It is more important than intelligent quotients. So intelligence we have captured through our consciousness and cognition, and emotional coefficient. We might see anything, we might have the placement, we might have the procedure, but for further how to get the job done and how to become part of the organization is an emotional coefficient actually. Then conscience attribute, well, the background is, I have been explaining all through this lecture. We have to talk about security aspect, not only random failure, which is part of the safety. So that is where the integrity attributes of ethics, attributes of integrity, honesty and loyalty, and of course general attitude and dedication. One aspect I would like to make it clear, though we are talking about different attributes, there is no hard line between integrity, ethics or honesty. Sometime you might, ethics you might interpret as a part of integrity, you might take it as a, but that is not important. What is important is those scenarios we are capturing, or those happenings or those behavioral attributes we are capturing in our conscience as a attribute, that is more important. So let us not see, sometimes there is a very grey line between consciousness and cognition. Okay. So okay, my median falls somewhere else, others median might fall somewhere else, but the 90% of the time what we talk about, we should be very sure about it, instead of going into the mathematical aspect or even critical aspects of this discussion. Okay. Now, consciousness attribute formation stage we have come. How it reflects on at the level of brain, because we had discussed earlier, we will connect it to the human and their faculties and their physiology. Okay. So, what is going on in the brain at the level of, and the simplest example could be, we take the example of vision, because that is where things are more relatively simpler actually, if you take. So, let us take the optical signal that we come to our brain, and then this processing happens at the dorsal stream and ventral stream. Ventral stream is on cortex, the lower area near the ear, and then ventral stream is something related to parietal lobe actually. So, what kind of processing is happening in the dorsal level? The processing of dorsal stream initially occurs at parietal stream, as I mentioned. And what it does? The processing deals with the movement of the object. Now, so to understand what we are talking on the slide, you understand you are in a shop floor in a engineering plant, okay, and we are seeing that something is being manipulated or some lorry is being uploaded, downloaded, and you are seeing that industrial safety point of view. Let us make it simple. Now, what is happening at the dorsal stream and what is happening at the ventral stream? The processing deals with the movement of the objects. Lorry is moving or stationary, particularly relative movement, that means the speed. Okay. The processing of dorsal stream is faster as it happens unconsciously, even at the and meant to react if required. This is very faster response compared to the, okay, if I do put it into perspective, compared to the ventral stream, because sometimes we correlate with our thing, lorry is there, it will come in here and all. So, that processing has happened very fast because we are used to it. You might call it as an experience actually, Any damage, now we are talking about performing the root cause analysis at the level of brain. Why the event has happened, that driver hit the object, something like that, So, this could be one physiological or cognitive reason for this. A damage to dorsal stream faculty leads to deficiency or dysfunctioning processing of movement and relative speed processing issue. If there are issues, sometimes we say it is by mistake, error of commission, error of omission, it does not fetch us anything. But here you have something to fall back, which is fundamental, and if you can do one more investigation and apply it in a generic way as a qualification criteria, then probably we will be having a more advantage. If we talk about the traffics and all that, or plant area where things are being loaded, unloaded and all that, then ventral stream forms conscious perception of geometry, size, retina. Now, I am a supervisor. I am not sure whether this object or crane will be able to take it up, take it down, what is the size of the object, what is the gap that is available. So, those kind of things, they happen at the ventral stream level. That means, every time will be experience will be different. Okay. The brain faculties involved in visual stream is a sequence, or so. One is how well you are able to see. So, retina is, if you are focusing the retina and you are seeing clearly or not that clearly. Then thalamus, a decision making or memory, primary and secondary cortex. So, these are all happening at the various level of the brain. The primary cortex cognize the object orientation. The role of primary cortex has come into here. The objective orientation, boundary, edge of the object, even edge of the object, whether this object edge will hit this wall, okay, and that may land up into problem. So, that decision. And secondary cortex identify the contrast between the object and the background. Object and the background. This helps me in identifying the object. Okay. So I should have a very good contrast to see object very clearly. So lighting is required. If lighting is poor, then we will not be able to distinguish the object very clearly. Also making contrast as the basis for identifying contours of the object. Okay, where there is an edge or round corner, like we negotiate on road, the vehicle either is coming from opposite or along with us, and we keep adjusting the direction and the speed. So something like that. Damage to any of the modules of ventral stream can weaken the perception forming capability, such as not being able to recognize faces and landmarks. We will not be able to identify the object. Okay, and after if it goes to lower stage or degraded stage, we will not be able to identify two machines are kept in the area which is old, which is new, which is 1, which is 2, which is 3. So those kind of issues, they start coming in actually. But it is just for the explanation. Trained people are trained, and that's why they are trained in a way they can perform their job actually. Formation, again we are continuing. Sound stimuli signals or information initially processed through the eardrum. First it is through, and then auditory nerves. It is the temporal region. Finally, and lobes for having conscious perception of the sound. If I go to the area, visit area, plant area, and if I am hearing some sound, and if I feel there is something dripping, and it is an indication of something leaking. It's a very important symptom. So auditory nerves perfection and temporal lobe processing is very important at that time. So if something a human has not heard of it, is the issue can be dealt or can be fixed at this level? Okay, taste and smell. I am visiting a plant area, and then I smell something. Other person, or I may not smell anything, other person has smelled anything. That means his stimuli is working, and then finally a discussion happens in the control room, and we find there is some wire or electrical spark that is happening, and that smell is there. So it is a precursor to a bigger failure. Correct it, and we avoided one incident, interruption or whatever. So, okay. So insights, what we draw for insight for ORCOM, conscious processing of information obtained from outside world through the sense basis has significant in real-time operation environment is these patterns stored and memory. If I know some smell is like this, it has gone into my memory, conscious or subconscious memory, I will be able to retrieve it immediately and see, oh, this I have smelled earlier also, and this could be the problem again. Then you become as an aware person about the plants, any deviation that you get from the area, control room or anywhere. Faint but noticeable burning smell in control room, I gave you this example. So these are the areas which translate into real-time improved performance of the at the level of human. Now let us talk about the awareness quotient. Awareness quotient is basically, if I am trying to bring a policy, let us say if I am trying to bring the risk conscious policy for the plant, I want to implement it, I should have an infrastructure also there, or if the infrastructure is there, we have to see whether anything is missing. So this is a real time reflection for improving the system. Okay. So awareness coefficient is second important that signifies the conscious connection with the plant. Attributes that consolidate the awareness of sincerity, intelligence, diligence. Now this is a new attribute which has come, which can be translated as ethical also, or which can be translated as a cognitive also. There are many gray areas, but including those elements is important. Then which category it should go. Of course, something happening at the right should not go to wrong, and wrong should not go to the right. Okay. Hence attribute should be enhanced awareness, and the awareness in all operating steps. What is objective? Prevention of deviation, detection of abnormal accident, and prevention of accident. And for this we require, these are the tools and methods and infrastructure that is a requirement of a risk-based reduction measurement on a sustainable basis. Time and space dimension, normal operation and emergency condition. Plant policy, duties and responsibility. purpose of the individual's role, knowledge, and this is n number of, in fact, this is just for the example, they are not, this list is not exhaustive, but it is to give you the essence of what we are talking about, awareness coefficient, and if I translate into the safety conscious practices or behavior. So, these are the things, because against this parameter only how aware we are there, how safety conscious we are there, and it can happen at plant level, it can happen at another plant level which is operating next door to you, it can happen at the national level also. It is quite dramatic to see two plants nearby, but the safety consciousness or risk consciousness is much better in one plant compared to the other plant. So, that distance, time and distance does not have anything. It is a basically attitude of the management, of course, because management policy and its implementation, you can relate safety consciousness or awareness actually. Okay. Risk conscious culture. We are smoothly coming to the next slide. So, I was talking about the risk conscious culture, and for that what we do, how we focus, we should have a policy, and in some plants, especially in nuclear industry, there is a technical specification which says, which brings down the policy for safety, and it is very difficult to bypass, or difficult, you cannot bypass it because it becomes a regulatory case, and you should have a document, holistic insight from the shift can be obtained when we deal at deterministic level and at probabilistic level. Plant emergency operating procedure, updated, periodically updated procedure. These are symptoms of how we can make people aware of risk consciousness. It is again not exhaustive, it is indicative only. So, in this chart figure, I am trying to bring what I am trying to say, PRA insights and rule. So, what is risk conscious culture? Human factor, root cause analysis should happen on all the root cause analysis need not be taking months or 6 months or 8 months. Some of them can be resolved very easily. So, level 1, level 2, level 3 root cause analysis, and we can do, so some can be 10 days, 15 days, some can be 2 months, level 2, level 3 can take 6 months, but it has to be done. Organizational risk conscious culture, I mean there should be a matrix which should be designed to say what is my risk consciousness or safety consciousness. Knowledge base, knowledge is a fundamental to the risk conscious culture. System of feedback, strong feedback system is in a closed loop, is one of the effective system that we have. Interface with the cognitive and conscious, and there should be an connection with the cognitive and all. Conscious, conscious means security events. We should have a matrix to track, to check, to determine any symptoms are there on security related development, insider threat, outsider threat, everything actually. Now, situational awareness. Situational awareness has been considered as a major factor in most advanced human factor reliability model. This is already there actually in open literature. Many human reliability methods have been using it, and its definition goes like this: the perception of the elements in the environment within a volume of time and space, the comprehension and projection of their state in near future. So, that means it has got dimension of time and space. It has got what is there, that is awareness level, and how it will be in the next state, future state. So, that means you know the situation, including how it will develop into another state later on. So, it is called situational awareness. They are very important when we have any deviation in the plant and we respond to it correctly actually, And then human machine system. The awareness question for human machine system defined as function of capability of human awareness. Number one, it is very important at the level of brain. That might include status of hardware system, audio visual signals, so that we use all our cognition and awareness to understand what is going on. Let us say a power failure has happened. Now, the control room is flooded with trips and alarms. Okay, I have given a very symbolic thing of control room. I'll come to that. And the alarms, and then chart reading varying here and there. The one glimpse and operator should be able to understand what is going on in the control room, and the action should be performed within the stipulated time actually. Context is control room, so control room is has got a major role in situational awareness, because it gets all the information, not all, but the information that is required in the interest of safety and reliability of the plant is made available to the control room. And that's why situational awareness from various areas from the plant, what is happening in different areas, especially during maintenance, he should have a good comprehension. That's why we call it as a knowledge based task, highest level of task that we have over here. So control room explains the human operator, the hardware and software interface with the, and then projection. Suppose if one signal has come, so that means from redundant channel second signal comes, the plant will trip, come to the same state, and then what are the actions that are followed. So like this. So that is called situation awareness. Here I have made a very simplified, even just to complete, just to present you the concept. Control room of the plant, if you want to see, you can go to the internet and see there are many control rooms. In fact, I have shown one control room, but this is the console, which is the central part of the control room, and these are mimic panel. Mimic panel means status of all the trips alarms are indicated on the top. They are called trip and alarm windows. All through the control room there will be tens or 20s of trip alarm windows, and there will be alarms which may be another in 30, 40, and then you will have mimic panel, graphs, parameters, instrumentation provided for to get the situational awareness, the right word, situational awareness of the plant. And this is a symbolic operator, okay, shown here. So these are the essential features in a control room. Now, declarative awareness is what? This is what a person learns through his study of design manuals, operating manuals, what is there in the plant. So declarative knowledge deals with the descriptive knowledge about the plant system, like plant layout, system design, description, routine operational aspects, limiting condition, whatever is being learned about the normal, abnormal, emergency condition, USI code, how plant operates, which are the administrative procedure, which are the technical procedure. Okay. So declarative quotient is the human memory capability, and the observation quotient plays a vital role in declarative quotient. When in training I am observing so many things, it should become part of my consciousness and cognition, so that that knowledge, the way knowledge is stored in a computer, that knowledge is there in my brain, and now if a situation comes, I am able to take a decision, that kind of. So now knowledge can come from procedure also, when there are sequences of many steps. So it is a procedural knowledge or a declarative knowledge, that is things as and how in place operate or remains there passive, and then there are two major components, episodic and semantic memory. Some event had happened in the plant, and that is called sort of because it doesn't happen, it happens only in once in a blue time, and that is gone into our memory. We are thinking that next time it should not happen, so that becomes a episodic memory. And semantic memory means I am investing a lot of things in learning of systems and all, and that is a knowledge base and all, that is called semantic. So that we have. Then evaluation of declarative capability, checklist. We probably not all of you would have heard about it. Checklist are the points which the examiner asks a trainee, what is that, what is pump, where it is located, what is the capacity of the pump, where to start it, where to stop it, and this is a very simple thing, but there are very, very involved questions which are there, So, and once the examiner is our expert, is satisfied, he will sign out of 100 points only on those 2 points that he has done. And then it goes on, as I told you, it takes 3 to 4 years for a person to learn a plant. Then work down. Work down means seeing the things in real time. That means go to various areas of the plant, get a feel of it, how it operates, how it is designed, how maintenance takes place, and the simulator sessions. This is one degree of additional degree of freedom where a trainee can learn and perform experiment. Then last is this alertness quotient. Even if you are conscious, you are aware, if you are not alert for some reason, it could be any reason, the major factors are lack of concentration and focus has been found to be one of the major factors in this thing. And conditions, the psychological and physiological conditions have been found to adversely impact if we are intoxicated or if we have not slept, if there was a fatigue and we felt tired when we went to the plant, this alertness quotient might take the adverse impact. So that is why. And the 99.9% paradigm, it could have gone to 99. Human, they know 99% what 99.9% what to do. 0% time, it is because of situational awareness or because of some fatigue and some errors occurs. So there are checks and balances in the plant to ensure that also. Now randomness is associated. Randomness is anyways associated with the human behavior because it is one of the most complex system. What is happening at the brain level, we have seen in the form of light. Why it is happening what are the chemicals, what was the backdrop of it, sometimes it is very difficult to physiology of that thing. So we are all growing, we are all learning. Concentration. So how the human concentration gets, so people say some concentration is good, it is fatigue, stress, physical factors, physiological factor which I have not written here, multitasking and complexity, and boredom or lack of challenge. These all lead to loss of concentration and focus, which is important for performing a job, and maintaining very high alertness quotient. Last time I told you that emotional quotient, it can shift the whole human perspective. Okay, how people see a human, how management can be done. It is not a cognitive component, but it is a wisdom in the Adi Shankaracharya's mantras. We have consciousness, and that is knowledge. Knowledge makes us conscious about things. And then other one is wisdom. Wisdom, that is in Hindi it is called pragyan. So the emotional quotient plays a vital role in defining, pragyan takes a vital role in defining the emotional quotient. How mature you have to behave, how you should consider others as also human, how so there are many factors, and what it does, it works very well at organization level. If one has to be a leader, he has to have a very high emotional quotient. He should be able to connect, or he or she should be able to connect to his supporting staff, and then share time and facility with them. Facility not in the sense of, but facilitate time itself. Have discussions, connect with them. So this is very important thing. This attributes, like we have IQ definition of 110, there is no scale for this. So we have capability to communicate, establish stacking capabilities, capability of managing the staff very well. So all those things goes into the, and finally a leader turns out to be which is maintaining a very good emotional quotient. Yeah, so now role of conscience in human factor. Conscience is basically major attributes of consciousness I have defined over here. Ethics, integrity, honesty, moral values, sincerity, and confidentiality. Now, whether it can be parameterized or whether we can have an empirical model for this, but this need to be developed, and it is being done also. It is not something new, because these are very important metrics for this any organization or plant or systems. Only thing is some advanced knowledges that are available in this area and evolving scenarios have many learning lessons. One can be use that available knowledge and observations and insights actually. So conscience is a subtle quality that enables an individual to distinguish between right and wrong. Checks are very good, right and wrong, and right and wrong also might vary at different level or different conditioning. So what is right for my organization and what is wrong for my organization, because we are talking about human factor in a organizational setup. The sense of ethic is central to the quality of consciousness. The role of conscience is often used to characterize the national consciousness or national consciousness and individual's consciousness. So collective consciousness of individuals become the organizational consciousness. Collective consciousness of the people in country, this becomes the national consciousness. Ethics is defined as the moral principle that motivate the behavior of a person to conduct duty assigned to them. Integrity is maintaining imposed, demonstrated and consistent and moral behavior of high standard, that is recognized as an over-encompassing attribute for an individual. Honesty. Open literature defines honesty as the free of deceit, truthful and sincere. Now you will see that sometimes honesty is used in exchange of ethics and integrity, but we should not miss the point that this thing, there should be a system of checks and balances on this, and if there is any symptom of dishonest lack in integrity, we should have a management system to deal with it. Moral values and all. In next lecture we will see reference human model in CQB.